What an amazing opportunity to stand before you. They called my race at 7 o'clock and 30 seconds. It was like a Mark Warner race. I'm a 2 a.m. guy. I mean, I'm not a 7 o'clock guy. I want to do some thank yous and then just talk to you about what I think this means. It's still early. I think we're going to watch races all across the country, but let me begin with my wife, Ann. We have been married 34 years on November 24th. And Ann is I always say, and my mom and dad, Al and Kathy Kaine, are here too. Give them a round of applause. I always say that I was born with a good compass, and I married a good anchor. And if you have a good moral compass and a good moral anchor, you can go very, very far in life. To my mom and dad and to my wife, Ann, thank you guys so very much. I've got 2 of my 3 kids and significant others and friends and other family in the audience, and it's just so good to acknowledge them. I want to acknowledge my campaign manager, Corinne Charles Dungo. Give Corinne a round of applause. And raise your hand if you are part of either the Kaine campaign or the coordinated campaign, because we've got some just amazing people in this room who are so fantastic. Corinne is a good leader, but she would say it's about you guys. You did a great job. Mike Henry and my whole Senate staff, raise your hand. And to volunteers and canvassers and folks doing phone calls and texts and writing postcards in every corner of the Commonwealth, we didn't leave any zip code behind. We didn't leave any part of the state behind. And your confidence and your passion is something that is so humbling to me, but also so inspiring. To my dear old friend, Mark Warner. Mark Warner, wow. Last night I was doing an event with Abby Spanberger, and I was introduced as Mark Warner and Tim Kaine have been friends for 38 years, and she said, I'm not even 38 years old. Mark Warner, I mean, what an amazing guy to have as a partner, and are we going to do everything we can to make sure that Mark Warner gets reelected to the Senate in 2020? Absolutely. And then we've had so many fantastic Democrats on the stage earlier tonight. We've had Governor Northam. We've had Lieutenant Governor Fairfax, Attorney General Herring, our great former Governor Terry McAuliffe, Jerry Connolly, Bobby Scott, Don Beyer. We used to introduce the Democratic elected officials in Virginia, and it would take 0.5 seconds. I mean, we didn't have a long list of people to introduce. But I know I'm with you in that tomorrow I'm going to rest, but then starting the day after tomorrow, we're starting an effort. We're going to win back the House and the Senate in Virginia in 2019 with all these great leaders. Thanks to my ticket mates. I ran this year, and when I hired Corinne, I gave her an unfair task. She was happy to be hired as campaign manager until I told her, you need to win for me, but you actually need to do 3 things. You need to win my race. You need to help our congressional candidates so we can pick up House seats. And you need to train the next generation of really fantastic and cool young people to stay in Virginia and to be campaign managers and press secretaries and finance directors and field directors and run for office themselves. And that's what Corinne has done. And we're still watching these results come in, but look, we've already won 1 House seat. I think it was the first House seat in the country to flip that was called. It was a Virginia seat with Jennifer Wexton. Isn't that fantastic? We are in razor-thin races for Abigail Spanberger in the 7th and Elaine Luria in the 2nd. We're going to win those races with your help. Thank you for what you've done for them. And then we've had other great candidates. Even, look, we were running this year on maps that they drew, but even on maps that they drew, Leslie Coburn, Jennifer Lewis, Vanjie Williams, Anthony Flacaveno, these guys made us proud. I have never been on a ticket with people that I felt so proud about as our 11 Democrats who are running for the House, 4 incumbents, 7 challengers. Give them all a big round of applause. I know it was not lost on you that of our 7 congressional challengers, 6 were women, and 5 of the 7 were first-time candidates. We are in this country, I mean, it's still sad. One of the tragedies of being on a ticket with Hillary and trying to help her get reelected is we're good at a lot of things. I'm so proud of this country. We're good at a lot of things. We're good at a lot of things about women, but we're bad at electing women to national office. We know we've not had a women president, but in Congress right now, it's 20% women. That ranks us below the global average. We are about 100th in the world. Iraq is 26%. Afghanistan's 28%. The leading nations in the world, like Rwanda in the 60s, were uniquely bad at electing women to national office. But last year, Virginia showed away 15 House seats. 11 of the 15 were women, and 6 of the 7 of our candidates this year are women. And we got a fighting chance, not just for Jennifer, but for Elaine Luria and for Abigail Spanberger. Women have got to take their place, and it will be the Democrats who will eventually make sure that women are represented in all of our legislative bodies at their proportion to the population. So what an honor for me to run with all these wonderful, wonderful people. And then I just want to thank you. I just have so many friends out here who have stuck with me from knocking on your door when I was running for city council 24 years ago to sticking with me through highs and lows and wins and losses and policy advances and policies that got stuck in quicksand. The race isn't always to the swift, but it's to the sure of heart and those who persist. I'm not the swiftest. I don't win on style points, but I persist. I persist. And you stuck with me, and I thank you for that. I thank you for that. 2 people in particular I want to thank is Dario Marquez and Wendy Thompson, who have helped organize all my supporters who are here somewhere. Dario and Wendy, thank you. Nothing is as humbling as seeing people who are willing to just spend hours and weeks and months and years helping you out. You know, I'm just like a regular person. I mean, why would somebody spend so much time helping me out? And yet when people do, it just stuns me. And all of you, whether you're on my staff or been a volunteer or you've been out canvassing or volunteering, the kind of help that you give to this guy who's just trying to do the best he can every day, I just can't tell you what it means to me. And I'll go for, and going forward, look, going forward, I'm going to do just what I have been doing. I'm going to be listening, escuchando a todos. You know, I am firm in what I believe, but I have a philosophy that I shouldn't become firm until I make sure that I listen to people, because I don't know everything. I didn't grow up in the same way that everybody did. I don't live the same reality everybody does. Virginia's big and diverse. It's important to listen. It's important to make sure that I understand the life everybody is living. I'll keep listening to you. I'm going to take your values every day to work in D.C. just as I've done, and I'm going to try to make you proud. And I'm going to try to set an example, a good example of leadership at a time when God knows we need some good examples, right? We got to have some good examples. For Ann and me, 34 years in, and my wife is the best public servant in my house. I'm a distant number 2. For Ann and me, it has always been about serving other people. We don't think about ourselves a lot. We think about others in our city, in our commonwealth, in our country. I guess Anne in particular grew up in a Virginia that didn't value everybody, that put people in categories. You know, men could go to these schools and women couldn't. Whites could go to these schools and African Americans couldn't. If you were here for a long time, you could do these things and new Americans couldn't. That was the Virginia that Anne grew up in and experienced it afresh. And when I moved here and married to her in 1984, both of us just, our mission, we just want to make Virginia more welcoming, more inclusive, more dynamic, more politically competitive. Let's just live the equality value. Let's just live like a commonwealth, a community. Let's just live like Virginia is for lovers rather than Virginia is for judgers or doubters or haters. And on that score, you guys sent a powerful message tonight. Again, about who we are as a commonwealth and who we are not.